Hi guys, how you doing? Senior Gaming here and I'm bringing you Devil Hunter with equipment farming guide. So if you're Devil Hunter player or perhaps idle gamer, then make sure you subscribe to the channel as I post as often as possible and bring you best tips and advice. And if you enjoy what you see, then hit that like button as well. Right then guys, so equipment grinding strategy is going to be one of the strategy you absolutely need, especially in the later stages of the game. End of the day, you'll be grinding for 98 to 99% of the time, and apart experience and gold, you need this build to keep dropping a lot of your gear. Especially in the later stages, you will need absolutely tons and tons of that, so you want to drop as much as possible, alongside obviously spending diamonds to take this top triple S gear to absolutely maximum levels. And actually where currently I am farming is a Disaster 480. This is a max stage I can currently squeeze, and with this very build I am able to squeeze between 350 to 400 kills per minute. So it's not only gear itself, but obviously I'm still dropping quite a lot of experience, gold and all other materials alongside. So it's a great farming build. So without further ado, I'm gonna go and kick off here with a first thing I want to show you, that's gonna be weapon. So when it comes to both a melee and long range, you always want to go for a pretty much a large weapon which gonna deal area damage. And that's despite what you're doing, if you're farming experience or gold. When you grind, you obviously want area damage in comparison to singular target when you go against a boss or you're trying to progress stages. In here we want to go with a Soul Eater, as purely this build is going to be based on a shooting damage. So we fully rely in here on a long range weapon, so therefore we want to boost it. And as you see, Soul Eater itself can actually boost shooting damage all the way by 1%, but stacking it 100 times, which means you are able to boost your shooting damage by 100% for 10 seconds. And because we are grinding very comfortably here, you're actually keeping this buff active at all times, meaning you are boosting shooting damage by 100% at all times just by having Soul Eater. When it comes to options, and that's gonna be pretty much applicable to a melee weapon, long range, as well as ring and necklace, you want to go here with attack speed, shooting power, reload speed, and either accuracy or defense penetration. We are looking into everything that can help us boost this long range damage. And then when it comes to a main weapon on this very build, I want you to go with a Black Rose. Again, we're talking here about unique option, where we're gonna duplicate the weapon and then instantly fire it 2 times when shooting. And this is obviously where we want to maximize a lot of potential around this long range weapon, and this is obviously foundation of that very build. And now the next thing I want to talk about is gonna be a skills as well as magic cards. And obviously, if you have noticed already, I have them actually switched off, so I'm not casting any cards or any skills, and this is purely due to a downtime that you're gonna have by casting skills and cards. As every single time you do so, there will be a certain animation involved, and that meaning it will slow you down. So as much as you want to have skills and cards when you're progressing, when you need that extra damage build up, because this guide itself it's so powerful that you will be most of the time one-shotting monsters anyway, you want to increase actually potential and reduce any possibility of slowing you down. So in order as well to switch off skills and cards, you got to go into this auto battle on the top right hand side and then switch hunter skill and magic cards into manual. And I have tested them with skills itself or with cards itself, and actually if you switch both off, this is the fastest way to grind. Okay, so now we're gonna go and then review trades itself. So obviously, when it comes to a growth section and a trades itself, we just purely going into others. So you want to go with Golden Grace level 60, as this way you're going to actually unlock experience, and then you boost here another 80 levels because you just need to have enough stats invested in order to then finally unlock Equipment Collector. And in here you will just entirely put everything else in this very skill, and as you see we are boosting it already by 43%. And actually, even if you just have the game active, you can absolutely see tons and tons gear actually being added to your inventory, and this is a way to go. You completely discard any boosters when it comes to damage itself. We already got a good weapon boosting our damage alongside a main weapon which shots twice, and then everything else it's purely related to that very grind. Then the next thing you want to look into and always have active is gonna be demonization, and you just pretty much want to go for as high demonization as possible, and we're talking here about additional movement speed. So you want to go as much movement speed, therefore obviously you're gonna farm more efficiently. And it's the same thing pretty much when it comes to a relics itself, obviously depending where you currently are, but you should try to invest it perhaps all the way to, I would say, success rate 40 to 50%. Again, in here we're gonna benefit from increased movement speed, you're gonna have a gold and experience by default, additional attack speed, critical rate, critical damage, and shot in power. It's something you want to have for this very build. So as mentioned, I think the easiest way, rather than tell you a level, is going to be your success rate. So I would go around 30 to 40%, and this is a good way to sort of boost your relics, and then obviously slow down with investing in this very aspect and then move with something else. Obviously at some point you want to max out your relics, but this is gonna be a good starting point. And then finally I'm gonna show you runes itself. In here you want to go with two set effects, so you want to go with gunshot as well as fading image. And in order to do it, as you see, you need a 4 of the gunshot rune. As well, wherever possible, you obviously want to go with attack as a main option, and then, you know, land some of the good sub options. This is not always going to be possible. I'm still looking for these holy grails and keep grinding, but nevertheless we're talking here obviously the effect itself. So just by having these 4 runes, you're gonna get extra 20% shooting power, and then again reducing reload speed, and then fading itself will maintain damage type for 3 seconds after demonization end. So again, we are boosting this additional damage, and demonization is gonna be one of these things you're gonna fully rely on. You know, once actually active, you are absolutely one-shotting everything. So that will be it, guys, pretty much what you need to get this build up and running. I hope you enjoyed it, and as always, I'll see you next time.